Mary's words found in Luke's Gospel. My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, because God hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden. For behold, henceforth all generations shall call me blessed, because God, who is mighty, has done great things for me, and holy is God's name. And his mercy is from generation to generation on those who fear him. He has shown might with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the conceit of their hearts. He has put down the mighty from their thrones and has exalted the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent empty away. He has given help to his servant Israel, mindful of his mercy, even as he spoke to our fathers, to Abraham, and to his posterity forever. Mary's Dream by Lucille Clifton. Winged women was sang, full of grace and like, was light beyond sun and words of a name and a blessing. Winged women to only I joined them, whispering, yes. This story from Jesus' childhood, from the second chapter of Luke. Now every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up, as usual, for the festival. When the festival was ended and they started to return, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents were unaware of this. Assuming that he was in the group of travelers, they went a day's journey. Then they started to look for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem in search of him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, "Child, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously looking for you." He said to them, "Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. And his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and in years and in divine and human favor. Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Now we will count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm the whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. From Psalm 30. You have turned my mourning into dancing for me. You have taken off my sackcloth and have clothed me with joy, that my soul may sing praise to you and not be silent, O Lord my God. I will give thanks to you forever. For When People Ask by Rosemary Watoya Tromer. I want a word that means okay and not okay, devastated and stunned with joy. I want the word that says, I feel it all at once. The heart is not like a songbird singing only one note at a time, more like a Tuvian throat singer, able to sing both a drone and simultaneously 2 or 3 harmonics high above it. A sound, the Tuvians say, that gives the impression of wind swirling among the rocks, The heart understands the swirl, how the churning of opposite feelings weaves through us like an instant breeze, leads us wordlessly deeper into ourselves, blesses us with paradox so that we might walk more openly into this world so rife with devastation, this world so ripe with joy. From Paul's letter to the Hebrews, do not neglect to extend hospitality to strangers, especially among the families of believers, being friendly, cordial, and gracious, sharing the comforts of your home and doing your part generously. For by this, some have entertained angels unaware. Into This World by Thomas Merton. Into this world, this demented inn, in which there is absolutely no room for him at all, Christ comes uninvited. But because he cannot be at home in it, because he is out of place in it, and yet he must be in it. His place is with those others for whom there is no room. His place is with those who do not belong, who are rejected by power because they are regarded as weak, those who are discredited, who are denied the status of persons, who are tortured, bombed, and exterminated. With those for whom there is no room, Christ is present in the world. He is mysteriously present in all those for whom there seems to be nothing but the world at its worst. It is in these that he hides himself, for whom there is no room. From the Gospel of Luke. In the same region were shepherds, staying out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord suddenly stood before them, and the glory of the Lord flashed and shone around them, and they were terribly frightened. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. For behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will be for all people. For this day in the city of David there has been born for you a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. Into This Silent Night by Anne Weems. Into this silent night as we make our weary way we know not where, just when the night becomes its darkness and we cannot see our path, just then is when the angels rush in, their hands full of stars.